Welcome to The Deep Dive. Okay, let's unpack this really interesting collection of insights you've brought to us. The central theme here, and gosh, it's maybe one of life's most universal challenges, right? It's that struggle to simply begin, that emotional weight of starting pretty much anything, a new project, a tough task, maybe just getting your day rolling. And it seems so often rooted in how we wait for this perfect, like powerful surge of motivation before we even think about taking action. So yeah, our mission for this deep dive, explore some practical, gentle ways to bridge that gap between, intention and action, build some real self-trust, and crucially, help you move forward even when it feels really hard. There are some truly valuable lessons here.
It is fascinating, isn't it? Just how relatable this struggle is. It really is. And it's not about weakness or anything like that. It's just a very human thing almost everyone bumps into. So today, yeah, we're looking at how to gently take back our power, sort of step by step, and maybe redefine what getting things done really means for you personally. The core learning, and it comes through in all the material, it's really about changing our relationship with motivation and with starting itself. Understanding we don't need to be perfect. We don't even have to feel totally ready to make real progress.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's really dive into that feeling, that really familiar, sometimes frustrating feeling of being stuck. We all know those days, right? Where everything just feels heavier. Your bed feels like it's got magnets in it. The world outside seems, I don't know, louder, more demanding. And simple things, brushing your teeth suddenly feels like this monumental mission. And sometimes it's not even a terrible day. Just nothing feels quite right. You might tell yourself, okay, I should start this, but your body's just not cooperating. And that inner voice starts up, like one of the articles mentioned. Those doubts, like, what if I fail again? Or maybe, what's the point anyway?
Right. That doubt spiral.
Exactly. And that space, that kind of tender space between intending to do something and actually doing it, that's where the battle happens. But what's really interesting, and several sources point this out, is that exact space. That's also where change can begin. It's paradoxical. The material keeps saying how we wait for the perfect moment, the flash of inspiration.
Yeah.
But the reality is that moment, it might just never show up on its own.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, psychologically speaking, that this isn't some flaw in us. It's really deep in our human nature, our brains wanting comfort, wanting to save energy, avoid discomfort. So it often looks like wanting rest or escape or just procrastination, which brings up a really important question the sources touch on. How do we actually honor those feelings, that resistance, that tiredness, without letting them completely run the show, without letting them dictate our future?
Right. How do you manage that?
Well, the insight isn't that you're weak for not wanting to get up. It's that you're human, totally human.
Yeah.
But like one of the behavioral activation papers talked about, a key part of self-kindness is acknowledging the feeling, but not necessarily obeying it. You can see it, understand it maybe, and then gently choose to act anyway.
Gently choose.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And the most profound takeaway here, I think, is that the most important action, it's almost always the smallest one. It could literally be just swinging your legs out of bed, standing up even if you feel awful, or just opening the laptop even if your mind is screaming, no!
Okay.
These aren't actually small steps in their impact. They're acts of quiet courage. They build that feeling that you can do things.
That's a really crucial distinction, isn't it? Honoring the feeling, but not letting it paralyze you. And it leads right into challenging this huge misconception about motivation that the sources really unpack well. We all kind of wish motivation would just appear on demand, if that spark,
The magic button.
Yeah, exactly. That burst of inspiration, that inner cheerleader saying, go, go, go. But anyone who's tried to stick with anything knows motivation isn't reliable. It's fickle.
Doesn't always show up, doesn't always stay.
Right. Some days you're ready to conquer the world. Others you're just staring at the ceiling thinking, can I even? So what does this mean for actually getting things done? The core insight, and it's powerful, is that you fundamentally do not have to feel like doing something to actually do it.
That's the crux of it.
You can be tired, totally unmotivated, lost, unsure, full of doubt, and still take one small action. And that's not weakness. That's not failing to feel right. That's showing immense power. It's discipline, but maybe in its most loving form. It's a gift to your future self, really.
And what's fascinating, like the behavioral psych article explored, is when we tie our actions only to how we feel right now, we actually give away so much of our own power. We become dependent on this feeling state. And that waiting, it can become a habit, a really ingrained one, a way to protect ourselves from discomfort, maybe. Staying safe in that zone of maybe later.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, think about it. How many moments, hours, days have maybe slipped by while waiting for that feeling of ready?
Too many, probably, for most of us.
Right. And one source had this great analogy. Motivation is like the weather. Some days are clear and sunny, inviting. Others are just gray, overcast, unappealing. But if you only go out when it's sunny,
You miss a lot of life.
you miss so much. And the material argues, pretty convincingly, I think, that you have deeper reasons to act. Reasons stronger than moods, things like your core values, maybe long-term dreams you hold, or just a commitment you've made to yourself, to showing up.
Those are the anchors.
Those are the anchors you can lean on when that surface motivation just isn't there.
That weather analogy really clicks. It changes how you think about starting things. And it fits perfectly with that heavy wheel idea from one of the personal development pieces.
Oh, yeah, the wheel.
You know, that massive heavy flywheel, it takes so much effort to get it moving at first. It fights you. But once it starts turning, even just a little bit, it gets easier and easier to keep it going. It builds momentum.
Exactly. And that's just like effort or creativity or building self-trust.
The first push.
Yeah.
That's the killer. Undeniably, the hardest bit. But as the material really stresses, if you can just nudge through that initial resistance, even slightly, something inside you kind of wakes up. You remember, oh yeah, I can do this.
You remember you're capable.
Yeah, you remember you're not fundamentally broken or lazy. You were just paused.
Yeah.
Stuck for a moment. And the message there is so powerful. Stuck is not forever. Stuck is just a state.
A temporary state.
A pause, a freeze. It's not who you are. It's not failure. And it's definitely not permanent. Change is always possible.
Which leads right into that crucial question the sources keep coming back to. How do we apply that gentle, compassionate approach to ourselves? Especially then, you know, in those moments of inertia when you feel like lead.
Right.
The material reminds us, really wisely, I think, that it's okay if it's messy. It's okay if you don't feel like it. It's okay if your heart's just not in it. If you're full of uncertainty.
Permission to be imperfect.
Total permission. What really matters, as one article on consistency put it, is you don't have to do everything. You don't need to conquer the whole mountain. You just have to do the next small thing. That's it.
Just the next small thing.
And that seemingly tiny step, it holds immense power. It reminds you, you're still capable, you're still here, you're still in charge of this moment. Think about the examples they gave.
Yeah.
Wash one dish. Write one sentence.
Walk for 5 minutes.
Speak one English sentence out loud, even just to yourself. The material says, quite boldly, that's not small, that's courage.
I love that framing. It reframes the whole effort.
It does. And it also emphasizes something beautiful. You can start over anytime, literally any point in the day. Not just morning, not just Monday. Right now, this second, it's always a perfectly good time to begin again.
That's incredibly freeing, isn't it? Right now is a perfectly good time.
Yeah.
Especially for those days that feel like they've already slipped away.
Oh.
We've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
You look at the clock, it's 4 p.m., the to-do list is mocking you, and that wave of self-blame just washes over.
The guilt.
Yeah, the guilt.
Yeah.
But here's the insight from the collection. You can take the day back anytime. You could restart at 9 a.m. or 2 p.m. or 6 p.m. or even, 11 p.m. You're never actually behind. You're never too late.
It's never too late to make a different choice for the rest of the day.
Exactly. And one of the mindfulness guides had this great mental trick. Just tell yourself, I still have time to do something kind for my future self.
Ah, that's good. Connecting to future you.
Yeah. And here's the magic, apparently, that some researchers observed. One small intentional action. Maybe tidying just one corner of your desk, deciding to go to bed a bit earlier, finishing just one task instead of stressing about all 5.
Just one.
It could totally shift the energy of the rest of your day. So instead of ending the day feeling like, ugh, I let myself down again, you end it feeling like, hey, I showed up, I did something. You foster pride, not blame.
And if we connect that to the bigger journey, personal growth, resilience, it's not about being perfect, not at all. It's about being intentional, choosing again and again. Real sustainable growth, like one of the essays put it, isn't some massive climb where one slip means disaster. It's more like, walking a trail in the woods. You take steps, you rest, maybe you trip.
You stumble.
You stumble, you pause, catch your breath, and then you just keep going. The trail's still there. It's still your journey.
That's a much more forgiving way to see it.
It is. And the material shared that really moving story, remember, about not skipping something important just because you're afraid of not being enough or getting it perfect.
Yeah, the student's message.
Right. And how that unexpected message, just simple gratitude for showing up honestly, it provided this tiny, like profound light.
Hmm.
And what's fascinating there, and it echoes through a lot of the self-compassion stuff, is that sometimes your best work, your most authentic self, it comes out when you're not trying to impress anyone, when you're just being honest about where you are, messiness.
Vulnerability is strength.
Exactly. And that honesty, it creates real connection, real healing, not just for others, but maybe most importantly for yourself.
That story really highlights the power of just showing up as you are. And it helps reinforce this idea, this inherent capability that's inside you, listening right now. We so often get caught in that trap, don't we? Looking for the right routine, the perfect words.
Waiting for future you.
Yeah. Waiting for this idealized, brave, focused, always motivated future version of ourselves to magically appear. We think, if I could just fix myself, then I could start. So what does this all boil down to for you right now? The material has such a hopeful message here. You already have what you need, that strength, that ability. It's not in some far-off future you. It's right here, now. It's in the small choices you make when nobody's watching. The quiet moments you say yes to yourself, even when you want to say no.
Yeah.
That's what the sources call your quiet power. It doesn't need to shout. It doesn't always feel confident, but it's steady, it's persistent,
Yeah.
and it's absolutely real.
So the critical question then becomes, how do we nurture that? How do we cultivate that quiet power day to day? And the collective wisdom shows us it shows up in all these small, often unglamorous ways.
Like brushing your teeth when you feel off.
Exactly. Or replying to that message even though your hands are shaking a bit. Or maybe studying just one new English word. Even when you wish you knew hundreds, it shows up every single time you choose to begin again.
Not because everything's fixed.
No,
Yeah.
but because you choose to believe that this moment and your presence in it matters. It has value. And the material is so reassuring here. You might not see it clearly all the time, but you are consistently doing better than you probably think. You're growing in ways you might not even notice. And that steady effort, even when it feels quiet or small, it's building something solid inside you, really foundational.
Every time.
Every single time you get up, you show up, you tackle even a tiny piece of it. You prove that strength to yourself. You don't need to become someone else entirely to move forward. You just need to trust. To really believe that the strength you're looking for, it's already here. It's growing inside you right now.
That's a really powerful and, deeply comforting thought to end on. Before we wrap up this deep dive, wherever you are right now, maybe driving, walking, sitting, just take a second, pause, take a really deep intentional breath in, hold it for just a moment, and then slowly let it out. Just by being here, by showing up for this, for yourself, that's already something to feel good about. And maybe, if you feel like it, choose one tiny, gentle action right after this. Could be a stretch, writing down one word that resonated, opening a book, or just closing your eyes for a moment of quiet. Let it be a small gift to yourself. No pressure, just kindness.
And maybe that leaves us with one final question for you to carry with you, a thread woven through all this material.
Yeah.
What small, kind action can you take for your future self right now? Not because you should, not out of pressure, but purely from a place of self-love and belief in your own quiet power. Remember, you're allowed, you're encouraged, even to begin again. As many times as it takes. And every single time you do, every gentle beginning, every quiet act of showing up, you become a little stronger, maybe a little softer too, and definitely a little more you.
Keep practicing those gentle beginnings.
Keep exploring your boundaries, but always with compassion. And we'll see you for the next deep dive.